Guess who's back? Back again. Trump is back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? 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 Bing 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 bing. I'll create a monster, cause nobody wants to see Biden no more. They want Trump. I'm John Liver. Well, if you want Trump, this is what I'll give you. A little bit of weed mixed with some hard liquor. Some vodka that'll jumpstart my heart quicker than a shot when I get shot at the hospital by the doctor. When I'm not cooperating, when I'm rocking the table, well, he's operating. You waited this long, now stop debating. Cause I'm back, I'm on the reg and ovulating. I know that you got a job, Miss Pelosi, but your husband's heart problem's complicating. So the FCC won't let me be, or let me be me, so let me see. They try to shut me down on my Twitter, but it feels so empty without me. So come on and bump on your lips, that on your lips, and some tits, and get ready, cause this shit's about to get heavy. Just settle all my lawsuits. Fuck you, Nancy. Now, this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me. I said this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of the 199, and my voice is it's barely there. I lost my voice towards the end of Mario Kart last night, and we'll see how long it holds up today. Way too many live streams this week, but that's what we do around here. Also, I see that these crowns are in the chat now. And it's something to do with like community leaderboard. So I'm going to show you guys. This is what it's telling me. Community leaderboard. And we got Z Highness at number 1. Now, community leaderboard. What's the leaderboard? A place for fans to stand out in the community. The top 3 get special badges in live chat. It resets every stream, so you can always try again. How do you get on the leaderboard? You'll need to collect experience points or XP. Here's how you get them. Send live chat messages, send super chats, and super stickers. There you go. So another thing that YouTube has added. So, yeah. There we go. That's news to me. So there's that's what's going on with the badges there. So I mean, to be fair, the only people saying it's dumb are the people that aren't ranked high. The people that have the badge think it's the coolest thing ever. So that leaves about 98% of the chat thinks it's stupid. But the people that have the badge are like, this is cool, man. I like this. And then everybody else doesn't have it. Says, this is dumb and gay. We got Steel Leg of History says, I just noticed I hit 687 subs. Thanks for your support and kindness and support. I will have a new fake leg finished soon. Can't wait to show you all. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about. Good to hear from you, man. Dark Schwartz Rising for 20 says leaderboard testing 1, 2, 3. Hey, if it's based on super chats, you should be number 1 now, Dark Schwartz Rising. Comment again, Dark Schwartz Rising. Let's see where you're at, because you've sent the biggest super chat. Oh, shit. Kevin went to number 1 then. Good God. I think Kevin's going to be number 1. Holy fuck. Z Highness is still number 1. Kevin just dropped a 5. Man, I got no voice. I can't even celebrate the $500 super chat. Kevin, for $500. Good Lord. Kevin, crowns are dumb. That is all. Holy shit, Kevin. Captain America says spam is going to be so bad. Leanback says no crown required. Get yourself some tea. Hail the 199. Black Kane says, you know this is going to backfire on normie creators when they get some of the names of the leaderboard. 100%. 100%. It's so weird. I don't know how this works. So like, all right, if I go to community leaderboard, Kevin's not even ranking in the top. I don't even see Kevin in the top 30. He just dropped a $500 super chat. Look at this. Kevin's not even ranked in the top. Like here, does anybody see Kevin? There's Keenan. Keenan's number 8. Dark Shores Rising's 15, but everybody's got 75 XP. Everybody's got 75 XP. So how do you determine that? I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. Jessica went from number 3 to now she's not even there. I mean, personally, I don't think I do kind of like the idea of it because it motivates people to be more active and shit. So, but that's weird that Kevin wouldn't be number 1 after a $500 super chat. That's insane. Kevin! Because I don't chat much. Okay. Kevin's like, I'm a man of few words, but when I speak, everyone listens. So there you go. Nandy says, damn, this crown stuff is gay as Miki. X-Wing Forces CobraCast Daily is the best thing ever. Crazy Clown Town says the XP caps at 75. I don't know how you can up it. Yeah, it's very strange. But as strange as that is, and again, Kevin, thank you so much. My goodness, dude. Like, seriously. I feel like I should be reacting even more crazy, but I can't. I'm barely talk. But thank you so much, Kevin. You mad lad. Good Lord. Insane support. That's like the third $500 super chat we've gotten this week. Holy crap. Jeez. John freaking Murdoch. Yeah, no $500 super chats from me today. John freaking Murdoch for 50. Thank you, John. Appreciate you, brother. John Murdoch. Followed you back on Twitter too, John. I think that's your account. I hope. If not, I'm going to unfollow the John Murdoch that I followed. Miki says, this is as gay as me with the crowns. You know what? I do owe you guys. And apparently, this is a thing too. You know what? This is a good segue. First of all, we play.
I'm so happy you love the first drop of my collection of Frankie's bikinis. We have more dreamy pieces coming our way. So tap to sign up for early access so you can get more information.
And then we play this, okay? And I think this is a good segue because I'm going to take a different approach to this topic. So here we go right here, okay? You guys, there's a celebration right there. Everybody's celebrating. Everybody's happy. But look at this story right here. So Sydney Sweeney is now selling her bathwater bliss, a limited edition soap containing drops of her bathwater. Only 5,000 bars will be available. And each bar comes with a certificate confirming it was made with Sydney's actual bathwater. Now, there's a couple of ways to approach this. Dasco says already pre-ordered. So, number one, I would never order bathwater from a chick. With that said, people will order it. And I'll put a positive spin on this, okay? For the people that are saying cringe and all that stuff, at least it's pushing the idea of men being attracted to women instead of the gay agenda. So can we at least appreciate that perspective? Can we appreciate the fact that this is pushing a non-gay agenda? I would much rather them push attractive women agenda instead of the gay agenda. So while I still think that it's cringy, it's definitely the lesser of two evils by a mile. So I will take this over the gay agenda of Hollywood. So there you go. That's my positive spin on that. All right. So there you go. I've seen a lot of people going crazy over this. And then after they get done bitching about it, they're like, I already pre-ordered 10. But yeah, this story's out there. People are going crazy over it right now. So MCU fan already pre-ordered, says John Jones. Okay, so we actually do have some real news to discuss today. And I just got to say, man, Bongino just keeps making things worse. Why do these guys keep talking? Why do these guys keep doing interviews? As Alex Jones said, if you're not going to do anything about it, then just shut up about it. So Dan Bongino, here's what he said about Epstein today.
In public interest. I'm just telling you what we see in the file. I just want to be crystal clear on this. I am not asking anyone to believe me. I'm telling you what's there and what isn't.
Right. That is bullshit. That is not what, when you said that interview last week for Fox News, you says he killed himself. He killed himself. Like you said it like it's a fact and you just have to accept it. You did not talk as, I'm not telling anyone what you should believe. No, you spoke as it was a fact, and anyone that is dare questioning this is just going against the truth. That's the way that you and Kash Patel presented this. You didn't present this as, I understand you guys are skeptical, and I totally understand. That's not how you guys presented it. You presented it as, we know because we have the privilege of seeing what you can't see, you bottom feeder losers. And then Kash Patel dismissed conspiracy theories just yesterday. Just conspiracy theories. Kash Patel saying conspiracy theories.
There is nothing in the file at this point on the Epstein case, and there's going to be a disclosure on this coming shortly. We are working through there is video. That is something the public does not.
There's video of him killing himself.
No, not the actual act, but the entire MCC Bay. It was only one camera. There's video that when you look at the video, and we will release. That's what's taken a while on this. We are working on cleaning it up to make sure you have an enhanced, and we're going to give the original so you don't think there were any shenanigans. You're going to see there's no one there but him. Right. There's just nobody there. So I say to people all the time, if you have a tip, let us know. But there's no DNA, there's no audio, there's no fingerprints, there's no suspects, there's no accomplices, there's no tips, there is nothing. If you have it, I'm happy to see it. There's video clear as day. He's the only person in there.
I got it.
And the only person coming out. You can see it. So
Okay. I am completely convinced now, guys. I apologize for questioning Dan Bongino. I did not know that there was a video that he was going to be providing. In fact, let's just go with Dan Bongino's logic there. There's video of it, guys. Okay. Well, there's video of Jurassic Park.
We are on our way to Jurassic Park. I am so excited. I've always wanted to go, and finally we are doing it. It's going to be great. Right, Jason?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Okay, bye.
All right.
All right, so there is video of it. You cannot question video. You can't question it. So if Dan Bongino wants us to believe the video, then I'm going to have to believe that this is Jurassic Park.
Here.
Oh, wow. There's really a Jurassic Park, guys. There's video of it. We have video to prove it. So it's real. We can't question this stuff. You're not allowed to question if this is real or not, by the way. So this is really Jurassic Park. I'm getting ready to schedule a trip with my family. This sounds amazing. We'll get the park hopping crew out there to cover this. This is going to go viral, by the way, when we're able to go to Jurassic Park.
Okay, guys, nice and easy, or he will definitely bite your hand off. Got it? All right, who's first?
Hey, according to Dan Bongino, there's video of it. So there you go. On a side note, we are screwed with AI. Holy crap, we are screwed. I mean, it's terrifying. It's terrifying. Like, in a year from now, like, I know that some people probably look at that video and go, oh, you can tell that this isn't real. That's not the point. The point is in a year from now, you're not going to be able to tell if it's real or not. That's the problem. So yes, back to Dan Bongino. His statements, again, completely come off as detached from reality. This guy doesn't sound like someone that built his following off of being a podcaster, speaking for the people, to the people. Now he's talking down to the people, and he's dismissing any concerns, dismissing his own words. His own words he's dismissing when he was a podcaster, one of the biggest podcasters in the world. And this guy that's sitting here is now contradicting his own words. It's insane. So I don't like it. And this is, to be fair, this is a problem that goes all the way to the top. I love President Trump. President Trump is doing a fantastic job. President Trump is making America great again. He's saving the world. He's doing things that no other president would do, but that doesn't mean that he can't be criticized. And this situation with the Epstein files is a disaster. And anyone that follows Trump that's not willing to say that is not someone you should take seriously, because all they want is the access. Again, let me remind you of this right here. This moment right here happened under the direction of President Trump and J.D. Vance. All of this happened. The Epstein files nonsense, treating it like it's a big joke. And then you see these influencers that all they want is access to the White House, sitting there celebrating it while they're holding an empty binder. They're holding an empty binder. Embarrassing. So again, as Alex Jones said, if you're not going to do anything about it, then shut up about it. Just shut up about it. Stop talking about it. Dark Hawk over on Rumble says, enhancing the video. Sure. More like producing. Yes. I will repeat my my example of what it would be like. So imagine a situation with Bongino and Kash Patel doing this complete flip on where they stood. It would be the equivalent of me and Gary being able to go to Lucasfilm and tour Lucasfilm and meet with Kathleen Kennedy, and immediately walking out of that meeting and going, yeah, guys, Kathleen Kennedy's doing a great job with Star Wars. We're really happy with the creative direction and the choices they've made. We're really happy with the diversity, inclusion, and representation. We really think representation is very important in Star Wars. And we really, really want to commend Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm on doing a phenomenal job. That's exactly what it would be like, what they're doing. They're completely shifting. They're different people now. It's crazy. I don't like it. And anyone else out there that's covering this is not calling it for what it is because they want the access. I don't care about the access. I'm a huge supporter of President Trump. I will call it like I see it. And this is a disaster. Butter framed in gold for a 149 super sticker. Thank you. Dark Schwartz Rising says, maybe this gets me over 75. Three says, hey, Jer, as a 199 elder, can I just send money without joining Crown Scientology group? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yeah, the leaderboard is really strange. I'm looking at it now and I still don't know how it works. I still don't know how it works. It's very strange. Maxwell PT says, where my breeds at? Aaron James says they likely have to set it up to lower supercharges. Don't feel discouraged from the huge supers from super chats. Nice try, YouTube, but this will fail. Yeah, I'm not sure how this will go over. I mean, it's probably in the beta mode, so we'll see. Dark Schwartz Rising with a $10 super sticker. Thank you. Kel Y'all says Deadpool is done. Swifty War has declared. The Mass Marvel says it's not her bathwater. It's some dude from a third world country, probably Dan Vask. Don't say that, because then a bunch of women are going to buy it now. That's all you've done, is just sold even more now, because now all the Dan Vask fans are going to buy it. Blue Vault guy says, I admit it, Trump 2.0 is a bust and we've been played. I mean, I would not see, this is an emotional reaction that I think goes too far. Like, you can criticize Trump and you can have an issue with his administration without jumping off the ship. Like, come on, man. This is why, like, on the internet, nuance is lost completely. Like, no, Trump 2.0 has been a monumental success. It's so fucking successful that when I criticize one thing, all of a sudden, because it's the only thing to criticize, really. So ultimately, no, it has not been a bust at all. John Murdoch says, I checked. You are following the correct John Murdoch. Let's freaking go. Hell yeah. Net Steeler says, buy some Ricola, please, little brother. Yeah, by the way, Net Steeler, I saw you in the chat saying that I didn't know who Jordy was. That is not the case. I did go back though. So when the Jordy LaForge super chat came up, if you watch, the first one, I was paying attention to getting the next topic set up. I don't know what I said when Beardo said he didn't know who it was. I honestly don't know what I said, but I watched The Next Generation growing up. I know who Jordy is. Beardo did not. I personally don't think it's that big of a deal that Beardo doesn't, because he clearly doesn't watch Star Trek. You know what I mean? But I do know who Jordy is, because I watched The Next Generation. That's my main knowledge of Star Trek, is The Next Generation, because I used to watch it growing up with my parents. We used to watch it. We were so excited every time it would come on. Mandalore says, so you're worried about Bongino or Cash? So you're worried that Bongino or Cash will use AI video? Not necessarily. It's more about recognizing. No, let me be clear. No, I don't think Bongino or Cash are going to use AI video. I don't. It's about understanding that you, Dan Bongino, and you, Cash Patel, have built your following off of conspiracy theories that you're now claiming don't hold any weight or value whatsoever. You also are trying to tell people they should blindly believe you, while then saying, I'm not telling anyone to believe me. It's about the optics of it. Qualify what you're saying by acknowledging that you recognize that most people are not going to believe this, and they are right not to believe it. It's about qualifying it. You know, when I say I'm going to, obviously I'm buying a Nintendo Switch 2. I always say, if you're not interested in a Switch 2 because of the price, I totally understand. Tell Nintendo to go fuck themselves. It's up to you as an individual to decide where to spend your money. I have a different perspective on it. I'm running a business. I have thousands of people that are going to watch our Mario Kart streams. That doesn't speak for the majority of people out there. The majority of people are looking at this going, I'm working a day job. I have financial bills and obligations, and I don't think Nintendo has earned the right for my money as much as they're asking. Tell them to go fuck themselves. Be self-aware. When you're Dan Bongino and you're the fucking deputy director of the FBI and you built your following off of questioning everything, including Epstein, how about don't sit up there in a pretentious way and tell people this is the truth? I don't owe you anything. This is what I've seen and this is the truth. No, you say, like, guys, I'm going to pretend that I'm Dan Bongino as deputy director for just a minute, and I'm sitting across from Fox News, and they ask me a question about Epstein. Deputy director, there's a lot of controversy around the Epstein, situation with whether he killed himself, the files, and all of that. Hey, listen, I spent years as a podcaster talking about the corruption and the cover-up with the Epstein situation, and it looked incredibly shady from that perspective. So all of the people out there that are questioning anything going on, continue to question that, because that's what we are supposed to be doing. Question everything coming from the government. Now, we have been able to look in the inside and see things that we were not privy to prior. That doesn't change the fact that you shouldn't believe a damn thing we say. We have to work hard to be transparent, to show you what we've seen, and then you, the people, can make up your mind as to how you feel about that. But until that time comes, I think everyone on the internet that is questioning this should continue to question this and question everything you see and hold everyone accountable. That's the fucking answer right there. That's the fucking answer. But instead, he's like, he killed himself. And Kash Patel's like, I've been here. I have the experience, and I've seen this. Fuck off. Swig of water for the working man. Delta Entertainment, Linko Kenobi says, what's up, Jeremy? I'm at the movies going to watch Karate Kid Legends. Bongino and Cash lost their balls. This AI is becoming serious anyways. Looking forward to Battlefront 2. See you tonight. Hail Cobra. I think we're going to be playing Battlefront 2 tonight on Locals. I think. And thank you, Linko. Hope you like it, man. The chat says the AI baby Trump interviews are kind of funny. I'll be honest. I haven't watched one of those yet. Not that I'm against it, just that I haven't watched any of them. Slick Gossip says, Bongino, we're clearing the video up, aka we're creating something AI to fool you guys into believing it. Get out of here. And this is why, while I don't believe that they're going to AI the video up, the fact that he said that it's taking us time to clean up the video is crazy. It's the lack of self-awareness is off the charts right now. Aaron James says, if I could, I'd return to the 80s, 90s level tech. Yeah, I mean, right now things are so bad with technology, and it's only going to get worse. And it's scary. It's downright scary where we are right now. And I think that everybody feels that way. Every generation feels that way. I would think, because I mean, I remember growing up and, with video games and then ultimately cell phones, the older guard questioning that, but I don't know, man. And maybe I'm just a prisoner of the moment, but I feel like what we're seeing with AI and the advancements with technology right now, we have made such a leap in technology in the last decade that it's scary as hell, man. It really is scary. The chat says, I got that one. For those questioning, yeah, I did I've done way too many streams and I have almost no voice left. Rolling Thunder says, Jeremy is the greatest streamer. We have video to show. I wouldn't go that far. Eric K says, breaking news, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino confirm. Evidence confirms JFK died by suicide. All evidence points to that. Trust us. Trust me, bro. Let's see. Sardacore says, Trump 2.0 will be a bust if we don't get accountability. Trump could deport all illegals and the wars, cut taxes, but none of it matters. And we will not have a country if corruption isn't rooted out. I do agree with that. I mean, listen, Trump, just today, he had another federal judge, I believe, blocked him. This is insane. The level of obstacles they are putting in Trump's way right now, stopping him from doing his job, the job that he was elected to do. And that has to be dealt with very soon. We can't drag our feet on this. And I don't know the process of dealing with this judicial coup that's going on, but we have to deal with this, and we got to deal with it quickly because it's a problem. Doug B says, I believe that the deep state got to Patel and Bongino. They must have something on them or threatening their families. It's the only logical explanation. Well, there's two logical explanations. What you're saying, and the other logical explanation is, and I'm just being fair on it, is Trump doesn't care about it. And that's sad if Trump doesn't care about this topic. Because if Trump cared about this topic, I feel like it would be a lot more, it would be dealt with a lot sooner. So, I mean, it's like anything else. I know everybody looks at the pardoning of the Chrisley family or whatever. The reality of it is the daughter Savannah has been pushing for her parents to be pardoned for several years now. And it finally hit Trump's desk. I've known about it. She spoke at the Republican National Convention. She's been advocating this for a while. She's met him multiple times, but it wasn't until a couple of days ago that it finally hit Trump's radar. And so Trump has a lot on his plate for sure. Let me see. Mar Millen says, let's see. Wendigoon was recently hacked on Twitter, and the hacks put a fake AI video of him confirming he made a meme coin. It was not the first time seeing a scam like that. It was nuts. Patrick Bet David put up a tweet. Let me see if I can find it about an AI video of him, Patrick. And apparently they've gone after the people that put it up. Yeah, is this it? Okay, this is it. So right here. Okay. Right here. Hey, Meta, this is a deep fake ad using AI that we reported to you, but you approved. Can you decline this ad and turn it off? People are being lured into a program. So right here.
Half a year. I don't charge any fees, and if my advice doesn't meet your expectations, you can withdraw at any time. The next 90 days will make millionaires in 2025. These are the top 3 stocks to buy in a turbulent market. I guarantee that some of them will surprise you. You don't need to rush to act or buy immediately. You can join my group to see my real investment kit.
It's pretty crazy, man. And again, we're only at the beginning of this. We're only at the beginning of this. I didn't know it was gay for $1. Shadow Sand says Jeremy sounding like Beardo's RFK impersonation. Nat Steeler says, for the calls with apologies. Hey, no apologies necessary, brother. It's all good. I saw you in the chat saying, I was like, no, I knew who Jordy was. I have no problem admitting if I didn't. Mandalore says, Bongino always said before reacting to hold and wait for more details. Yeah, absolutely. And that now he's not telling people to do that same thing. Animating Andy says, well, Jeremy, your point regarding Cash and Bongino is good. You're a lot smarter than you give yourself credit for, but you're still gay and a fig. The day that I am called smart on the internet is the day I will quit the internet. Nobody needs to be. When people are called smart on the internet, that's a sign that they have a blind sheep following. Just continue to call me dumb and gay, and we'll be fine. But when your following genuinely says, well, my favorite YouTuber is intellectually superior to yours, and I'm like, oh God, fuck off. Lord Voldemort says, Dan and Cash aren't talking down to anyone. They're just telling us what they're seeing. I trust Trump and I trust Dan and Cash. I respect that take. I respectfully disagree, but I respect the take. I think they are talking down to people based on the fact of how they've talked in the past. The thing that we love about Trump is that he's never changed how he talks. He talks the same way he's always talked. In fact, he's gotten even more politically incorrect, it seems, in a lot of ways since becoming a politician. And so, but I respect where you're coming from. Shadow Sand says, you know who else has no voice? Mods. Mods Lives Matters. I guess Jess too. X-Wing Forces breaking Cash and Dan confirm Mike likes hot dudes. Demi Storm says, my daughter is a lawyer and says the law is on behind AI and technology in general. It's frightening. Yeah, I mean, it is frightening. It's terrifying. And I hope people realize just how bad it's going to be. We are at the infant stages of AI, and it's already scary. Think about when I was playing video games back in the 90s, and I said to myself, this is legitimately what I would say. When I would see the graphics on the Super Nintendo, and then we go to the Nintendo 64, and I'm thinking, we're never going to see graphics better than this. We have peaked, boys. It's over. Shadows of the Empire literally looks like I am in a Star Wars movie right now. Shadows of the Empire looks like the greatest thing. Like, I was like, we're never going to get better than this. And then look where we are now. You know what I mean? So we are in the infant stages of AI, and it already looks way too real. Very scary. Robo Guy says the fact that Trump isn't ignoring these judges is stupid. He needs to be like Jackson and just ignore them entirely. That or forget judicial tyranny. What if civil war erupts? Tim Pool would approve. Tim Pool would approve. He's been wanting it for years. To be fair, I feel like we're already in a civil war, but it's not the civil war that you might think. It's a civil war of information. It's a civil war on social media. It's a civil war of ideology. It's a civil war of beliefs. It's a civil war of identity. I feel like we already are there in a lot of different ways. Jeremy the Cyborg with 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, brother. Let's go. 10 gifties. Let's see. Eric K says Jeremy's one of the smartest men on the internet. Stop. I don't like compliments. Maddening says, just a note to show continued appreciation for your narrative on here. Tomorrow's a new day. Thank you, Maddening. Appreciate that, brother. Project Taco says, you mess with Wendigoon. I don't know who this is. You mess with the GunTuber side of YouTube. If they're covering the Buffalo school system, hiding SA of minors and corruption. I don't even know who that is, so I'll have to look that up. I only know of a few GunTubers. Brown Gaijin says, first off, happy birthday to my dad. He's 76. Second, remember that it matters who you vote for judges as it rolls downhill. Absolutely. And happy birthday to your dad, 76. The chat says, Jeremy, you are so intelligent. Smart words. 1990 Space Movie says, Jeremy is smart because he answered all the questions. Good job, Jeremy. I think I still have that clip that we made. Hang on. With me and Krista. Let's see if I can find it. Is it still on here? Here we go.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts.
Whenever I read all the super chats. You read all the super chats, Joe. Crab Potato says Jeremy's the smartest fig in the Citadel. Helen Hunt's forehead. Jeremy is a what of intellectual thought? Clearly, I don't even know that word, so clearly that's a lie. The Mickey will inherit the earth. Wall Street Journal did a video on VEO3. You don't need prompts. It can track your movement in real time. A journalist made a mini movie about it. Sinestro says, I'm a programmer and write code for AI. Right now, it's only as good as the code behind it. It is indeed still in its infancy. 20 years from now, it will be what the internet is today, and that is fucking terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Okay, so next up on the list. So this is talking about the situation with the tariffs and the judge blocking the tariffs.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the United States will start aggressively revoking Chinese student visas. Meanwhile, the U.S. International Trade Court striking down most of President Trump's tariffs. The White House now pushing back. And then there's the story of Elon Musk. He confirms he is leaving Doge. That was expected. He did lead the agency in saving an estimated $175 billion.
And get ready for the mainstream narrative to be that Trump and Elon are at odds. That will be the narrative from the media, that Trump and Musk have had a falling out. The honeymoon is over. That's what they will say.
In slash government waste, which was quite a bit smaller than
yes. So with that, our plate is full. Team Fox coverage. Hugh Hewitt's got analysis. He's on deck. Let's start with the news on the terrorists. Major news there. Alexandria Hoff begins there from the North Lawn. Alice, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you. Yeah, the Trump administration is appealing this decision by a 3-judge panel that blocks his sweeping tariffs, the president's sweeping tariffs. The White House stating this, quote, "It is not for unelected judges to decide how to properly address a national emergency." Now, the Federal Trade Court disagreed with the administration applying the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to tariffs. It's something that had never been done before. Quote, "The court does not read IEEPA to confer such unbounded authority." Well, National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett said this morning that he doesn't think the president's trade deal making will be impacted by what many will see as a loss of leverage here, saying that there are 3 more trade deals nearly done. He also responded to some skepticism coming from some GOP.
Sean Green says, Jeremy, you sound like them now too. What do you mean? What do you mean? Sean, I sound like who now? I need feedback. Drinking water helps. Look at emo number 3. I'm waiting for a response. You sound gay, I think he meant. I'm waiting. Sean Green says, you sound like them now too. What do you mean? I can't wait much longer. He's probably like, shit, he noticed me. He's like, I thought I was just going to talk shit and he wasn't going to notice. I just sent it. You mean you just sent it? Where? Did I miss it? Hang on. Let me go to live chat. Did I miss it in live chat? He's covering the list well. All right, I can't. I don't see your response. All good. No big deal. No big deal.
Key members and Elon Musk over the president's big, beautiful bill. Listen.
If you're disappointed in the end at what's in the big, beautiful bill, don't forget that there are a million other spending cuts coming because of Doge cuts, because of other things we can do with executive order.
Now, the White House is expected to send a roughly $9.4 billion.
You're turning the narrative to don't trust the Trump administration. Again, man, if I'm not allowed to criticize one fucking thing all day long, I get called a Trump homer. Jeremy will never criticize Trump. Jeremy loves Trump. Jeremy has a Trump body pillow. Jeremy thinks Trump can do no wrong. I make one critical assessment of the Trump administration, and suddenly I'm turning on the Trump administration. Fuck my life.
$1 billion federal spending cut proposal to Congress next week, doing so by a rescissions package, which is a way for the president to block funds already allocated by Congress. The primary targets there will be NPR.
You got your chat saying Trump 2.0 or bust is a bust. I don't get my chat to say anything. If I could control what my chat said, they'd all send me $100 super chats. Guess what? 99% of them don't send me shit. So clearly I don't have the control that I want. What CobraCast is a group of individuals that are allowed to have whatever opinion they want. And I'm okay with that. Doesn't mean that we have to agree.
PBS and USAID. And House Speaker Mike Johnson says there's an immediate effort to codify Doge cuts that coincides with Elon Musk's tenure in the government coming to a close. He thanked the president in a post and added that Doge's mission will only strengthen over time. Now, as a special government employee, which is what Musk was, you're only allowed to serve for 130 days per calendar year. That 130 mark ends at the end of the month.
Okay, all right, that's a lot. That's a lot for now. Thanks, Alexander. Nice to see you. Thanks, Dana.
Hugh Hewitt is here with us, Fox News contributor. Great to have you.
Laura.
Senator Kennedy was on with Laura Ingraham last night saying this.
I think it's pretty clear that the president has tariff authority. Congress gave it to him.
Yes.
Sooner or later, the Supreme Court is going to have to address this. Those who oppose the executive branch and those who oppose the legislative branch and are seeking recourse in the courts are at some point going to dig up more snakes than they can kill.
Dude, John Kennedy is awesome.
All right, Hugh. This all came down last night. A lot of people looking at it and from lots of different directions. So many opinions. What's yours?
Well, good morning, Dana. Good morning, Bill. I read the opinion this morning by Judges Katzman, Reif, and Rustani. The trade court is just another district court. It just has 3 district court judges hearing this. They're very good at trade matters, not so good at con law. It will be appealed to the Federal Circuit. It will eventually end up at the Supreme Court. I understand their ruling on the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, but they don't do a lot of con law, and I do not understand why they did not stay their injunction, because they are messing up a lot of ongoing negotiations.
But that's the whole point. That's why they're doing it. They're doing it to mess things up for Trump. It's not going to last. As I said yesterday, this will be overturned, but it's about putting more and more obstacles in Trump's way. It's about upsetting the flow of what he has going on. You literally just admitted it right there, which is what I said yesterday.
Powers Act, but they don't do a lot of con law, and I do not understand why they did not stay their injunction, because they are messing up a lot of ongoing negotiations. So I think it was reckless in the extreme for 3 district court judges to mess up all these international trade issues. And I do understand the China trade tariffs as being national security. I can even understand the 10% international, the global 10% tariff as being related to as a sort of tax on our defense budget that we do for the rest of the world. So whatever the opinion of these 3 judges, they're just district judges. They're not very self-aware. It's got to get up to the Federal Circuit. I hope it's stayed immediately. It's got to eventually go to the Supreme Court, because the IEEP it's a case of first impression for this kind of a question under the IEEP of 77. So it'll eventually get to the Supreme Court. So I just wish they had stayed it, and I hope the Federal Circuit stays it today.
Okay, this is like the court in the corner, right? I mean, who had ever heard of it? But, I mean, most of us had not, and 95% of the people watching same. Now, with regard to Secretary of State Marco Rubio, he wants to crack down on the number of visas given to Chinese students. Read 2 things for you here.
Which is 100% what he should be doing.
Uncovering Chinese academic espionage at Stanford. You're quite familiar with that. And here are the number of student visas from China. It's the line in yellow.
People are talking about Interstellar in the chat. I see Interstellar didn't suck. You suck. Somebody say Interstellar sucks. There's like, it's weird, man. The people that don't like Interstellar, like, they're more invested in making sure other people feel like them than anything. Like, it's really weird. But yeah, Interstellar is my favorite movie of all time. Love that movie.
Yellow versus other countries, which is the line above it in gray. So significant number of students from China. What do you think about the merits of this, Hugh?
I think they're great merits. I would revoke every single one of them until, for example, Jimmy Lai is freed by Xi Jinping, the General Secretary of the Communist Party there. And I would send them all back and then carefully vet every one of them, because it is well known, and it was known in Trump 1, that most of the students here on visas from China are under duress of the communists in China, meaning that they've got family, they've got friends, they've got instructions, and not all. But if you've got 300,000, I believe that's the number, students here from the PRC, they're all beholden to the Chinese Communist Party one way or the other. And if even only 10% of them, 30,000, are actively engaged in spying and stealing and espionage, that's a major problem. So I think Secretary Rubio is continuing what Secretary Pompeo did under President Trump in his first term, which is crack down on the Chinese Communist Party and its agents in the United States. So I'm 100% with them. Send them home. When they free Jimmy Lai, he's being honored by the Brandley Foundation tonight, we can start talking again about a new vetting process. But we ought to be aware, it's like having Germans in the United States in 1935 to 1938. We have to really wonder, what are they doing and to whom are they doing it?
President,
this is all great and wonderful. I have to it's so weird, because what we're getting right now with Trump 2.0 is what we should have gotten with Trump 1.0. The problem is Trump faced so much resistance And a lot of it was self-inflicted because he did make bad choices with his cabinet in the first administration, but that's understandable because he was new to politics. And so the swamp was a lot deeper and nastier than he thought it was, and he made a lot of bad choices. And so it really did hinder him. And so obviously he lost 4 years, and then they did so much damage to the country. So now not only is he spending time cleaning up all the mess that Biden and the Democrats created, then he's kind of going back to what things he wanted to do in his first term. And the sad thing is he only has, 1 term to do all of this. He only has 1 term to do all of this. And then what happens after that? There's not another Trump out there. There's not another Trump. That's the concern. Bob Gable says Thomas Crook's case closed is worse in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. Bella Stella, new member, thank you. Einstein one. Good God. That is terrible. That is absolutely terrible. Einstein 199. Wow, Jeremy really is is it Scion? Scion? Is that how you say that? Scion? Lord Bothus says, fun fact, by leaving Doge, Elon finally proved he can successfully pull out of something. D1 says, I heard Meek loves hot Roman dudes. What did you do to him, Jeremy? Poor Meek. He's never getting away from that one. Long and Disguised. I gave Interstellar another shot after FNT a few weeks ago, and you're correct. I loved it. It definitely hits you differently as a parent. Thank you. That's what I've always said. I'm not saying that you have to be a parent to appreciate Interstellar. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, as a parent watching Interstellar, it hits you on a different level emotionally, for sure. And that's just that's something that can't be quantified or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, I've talked to several people that told me that that they didn't like Interstellar, and then years later they watched it as a parent, and they're like, it hit me on a whole different level. So, but I've loved it from the start. But I was a parent. My daughter was the same age, roughly the same age as Murph. When I first saw it, and yeah. But I'm a Nolan fan anyway. So, but yes, Interstellar, my favorite movie of all time, and it's not even close. To be fair, not even close.
Xi's daughter herself actually attended Harvard in 2014.
Yeah.
She graduated. She had a pseudonym that she graduated under. This is the New York Times. I don't know if this is the best argument. I've heard better ones, but here, let me read this to you from the New York Times. That the directive will no doubt fuel worries amongst the roughly 275,000 Chinese students in the United States, as well as professors and university administrators who depend on their research.
See, yeah, this is let's see. His relationship with his son and what we expect of our boys is underrated in that movie. Yeah, the one of the things that a lot of people love to cling on to is that he didn't care about his son, and that's the most retarded statement a person can make. You clearly didn't watch the movie if you don't think that Cooper didn't care about Tom. Cooper literally fought for his son to get a higher education in a time where higher education was not the priority. The school, because of depleted resources, said because of his test scores, he's not going to be set up for a higher education. He sat right there in school and fought for his fucking son. And then he cussed him out when they said that his son wasn't worthy of a higher education. His son represented the caretaker generation, which is the tragedy of the movie. If you recall, the themes of it is that we're a caretaker generation, and Cooper is not a caretaker. He's a risk taker. He's a pioneer, and that's who the world needs is pioneers. But the current circumstances is a caretaker generation, and that's what Tom represented, which is a tragedy that he was a caretaker. But that's what he wanted to be. He wanted to be a farmer like his dad. And so then his dad turned the whole farm over to him. But because the end of the movie, the person Cooper doesn't bring up Murph. The nurse brings up Murph, and that triggers Cooper to ask about Murph. And they're like, he didn't ask about his son. It's so like short-sighted for people to say that retarded shit. Anyway, let's continue. Or we're done with this. So, let's see. He left him his farm and his truck. Yes, exactly what Tom wanted. Tom wanted to be a farmer. That's what Tom wanted. He literally sat there at the baseball game and told Cooper, I love what you do. I love this. This is what I want to do. So Cooper left him everything. Oh, he didn't love his son. It's so stupid. It's like, do people even pay attention to shit before they start criticizing it? But anyway, okay, now we have this. This was funny to me watching this, but so Twitch right now, the platform that Hassan and Asmongold and others stream on, is facing serious problems right now. And so Asmongold basically floated the idea that Twitch should ban all political speech on their platform and make it primarily a video game streaming platform. That would be advertiser friendly, and that would help them get out of the rut that they're in. And the theory behind that is, what would Hassan Piker do if he couldn't talk politics on Twitch? It would destroy him. Okay. So Asmongold puts this out. Frogan, this loser, quote tweets and says, you consider me political because I wear a hijab. I am not like you, and I do not make political content anywhere but typing a tweet once in a while. Asmongold responds and absolutely destroys her. Don't try to use your hijab as a shield for your disgusting behavior. She said American soldiers deserve PTSD. She said this. You can look it up. She said American soldiers deserve PTSD. Insane. Absolutely insane. She's made 9/11 references. She's made all type of disgusting references. And then Asmon said, those are PR problems, obviously. Your religion isn't the problem. You are. 1,000%. It's disgusting, man. And no, your hijab is not the problem. Remember the hijabi gamer who we've had on multiple Geeks and Gamer streams? Hijabi gamer's great. She's based as hell too, by the way. So, you know, this is a victim narrative that these clowns like to try to come up with. Like, oh, you just hate my hijab. Like, shut the fuck up. No, we hate you. It has nothing to do with your job. It has to do with you are a piece of shit. You're a horrible human being. You said soldiers, American soldiers deserve PTSD. Hassan Piker said America deserved 9/11. He said this. I'm pretty sure on Twitch, by the way. Hassan said America deserved 9/11. So Asmon has been on it lately, and it's been really, I mean, again, I watch a lot of his clips. I've never watched a full Asmongold stream. I don't know how he streams for a long time. I could never sit there and watch an entire Asmongold stream, but I like a lot of what he's had to say. He has a lot of really interesting and good opinions on a lot of different topics. So, yeah, we should get Hijabi Gamer back on. Maybe we'll get her on Main Event one of these weeks. She's cool. She's cool peeps. So I like Hijabi Gamer. But anyway, that's the latest on that. Twitch right now is they're facing a huge kind of crossroads right now with Twitch. I personally hate Twitch. You know, we have a partner channel with Geeks and Gamers over there, and I just don't. I think like occasionally, like we'll stream like a Mario Kart perspective over there, but like I hate Twitch. I don't want anything to do with it. Remember the deer lady? Remember the deer lady that was on like the trust and safety team or something like that? Deer lady Twitch, right? Let's see. Oh my God. Yikes. Woof. This is a person that Twitch had on their safety council. Oh no. Oh no.
Thank you.
Wow. I regret I regret watching that. That was bad. That was bad. Get her on main event. Oh no, that was rough right there. But yeah, that's Twitch had that weirdo on their safety council right there. So where are we at? Zinny Biscuit says, I'll donate over here. Thank you, Zinny Biscuit. The Epstein stuff happened in 2019. My honest opinion, folks in Biden's FBI fixed it before leaving, or someone has dirt on Dan and Cash. Scary. Guess we'll find out eventually. The Comics Dad says Cash and Bongino, Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars are the best around. We love the Acolyte. Trust us. Hail the 199. True Mr. Gentleman says people underestimate how busy the presidency is. I think Trump's 1, 2, and 3 priority right now is preventing World War III, worldwide economic markets, and immigration. Epstein don't have that priority right now. That is a very understandable perspective, and I do think that, I mean, that's where I believe his attention lies. Mod Eric says Trump should have real judges say it's legal before the crazy ones say it's illegal. And then Mod Eric says Jeremy's one of the smartest people to ever grace YouTube. Too bad he is quitting after that compliment. I'm done. I'm out. Isaac Seller says Interstellar's mediocre, just like you, Gay Remy. Aaron James for the 99-cent super sticker. Dad Build says facts. I have learned Jeremy loves Interstellar and his forklift license is from NASA, but Gary's is still better. I typed in the chat last night when Gary was live. I was like, well, I got my forklift trainer license from a drunk guy in Alabama. So his is from Tesla. So his might oversee mine. We'll see. Braxton says that video makes me want to end it all. Don't do it, brother. Don't do it. Anima Chain says after seeing that weird creature getting rubbed down on Twitch, I think nuclear war sounds just fine. Phantasmus Knox says that dear person broke Jeremy. Aaron James says, be nice to this streamer. He's mentally challenged. I am. I'm from Alabama. Of course I am. And again, as we have the community board, Steel Leg of History is number 1. Keenan's up to number 3. Username, I don't know what it says. You got a now we got 150 XP. But Kevin says for $500, this is earlier, crowns are dumb. That is all. Kevin, are you still here? Are you still here, Kevin? I did read this earlier, by the way. Zebin Cross says, after watching that, make insane asylums great again. Absolutely. Jeremy is a retard, not a libtard. Booming Bob says, after that video, you deserve to watch Snake Eyes and play Apex Legends for 24 hours. No! You know what? I actually watched I started watching the G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra movie the other day, and it's not good, but it's after the Snake Eyes movie, those movies are easier to watch. Aaron James with a gifted membership. Thank you, Aaron James, for the gifted membership. Appreciate it, brother. Let's see here. Oh, I haven't seen this. We got Kevin O'Leary talking about the Trump tariffs being blocked.
The judges have come for President Trump's trade policy. A trade court blocked the president's reciprocal tariffs triggering a potential showdown that could reach the Supreme Court. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Big Money Show. I'm Brian Brenberg, along with my co-host Taylor Riggs, Dagan McDowell, Jackie DeAngelis, and with us for not 1, but 2 hours, O'Leary Ventures Chairman Kevin O'Leary. Welcome, sir.
Woo!
Markets initially rose on news of the court's ruling, but a Trump spokesperson says, quote, it is not for unelected judges to decide how to address a national emergency. Some now argue the president has lost his biggest leverage on trade talks. Others, like Goldman Sachs, saying not so fast. Trump has plenty of other tools at his disposal. Kevin O'Leary, big news. What do you think about this?
3 takeaways. Number 1, he does have plenty of tools, and he used them before and in his first term. Other administrations have used them as well. What has been taken away from him is the shock and awe of just picking a specific country and slamming them with 145% tariffs just for the hell of it. That's not going to work anymore. But more importantly for investors and everybody in the market, and if you're spending CapEx in a domestic company, are tariffs as an issue going away? Absolutely not. How long will it take to negotiate them? Much longer, because now you've got to put in place the appeal process and everything else. But while he is doing this, if you're a negotiating country like India or Canada or Mexico or the EU, you're not dropping your team. You're saying, I know Trump's going to keep coming at me with a different tool, so I might as well just keep going down the road. And I think number 3 on the hit parade of what you got to think about is what's the end game? He's got to get this all wrapped up before the midterms and before we start thinking about midterms, because he doesn't want to lose the majority mandate based on tariffs. Markets, they're back to almost all-time highs. So the market is looking forward saying, I think this whole tariff deal is going to end up in some kind of reciprocal 10%-ish range. That's what they're kind of saying right now, no matter how the volatility plays out. And every time we get another volatile statement or another tweet out of Trump, the impact is less. And so the market's made the assumption that he's doing his Trump-ish kind of negotiation and that we're going to get to a 10% or something like that tariff before the mid.
So let me stay.
Jay says, Padrid says, is this Professor X? Honestly, that wouldn't be bad casting.
With markets, Taylor, because they popped into the green on the news of the ruling. I think all 3 major indices now are in the red. So
that's close.
Does that tell you that markets?
Why are they talking about this like Trump's done anything wrong? This is these corrupt left-wing judges. They're at fault here. Trump has done absolutely nothing wrong. This is not a Trump issue. This is a judicial coup issue. That's what the problem is.
It's initially thought, okay, this might kind of be the end of the tariff drama, and now they're realizing, to Kevin's point, if the president wants to do more on tariffs, there's a lot more he can do.
Yeah, I think that's certainly one read, right? We always get the initial excitement, and then when you read through the notes, it say last night's ruling does not apply to Section 301, the 10% tariffs that Trump imposed on China in 2018-2019. Section 232, the 25% tariffs on autos and auto parts. Section 232, the 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum. And then maybe the upcoming tariffs on semiconductors, pharma, copper, lumber, and ships under Section 232. So you do have certainly some exclusions from that, and maybe the market's trying to digest that. Kevin talked a lot about countries still negotiating, and I will go back to our conversation, and Kevin can agree or disagree with me, about that we had yesterday on individual CEOs in companies who I think we shouldn't discount their ability to really manage effectively through.
I don't feel like, I don't understand, what are they exactly focusing? It should be the focus on the judges. Court rules Trump overstepped authority on tariffs. How about judges have overstepped their authority because it's going to be shot down? So the question would be, why are we allowing these judges to even get involved in this from that level? Congress can check the president if they don't like what he's doing. Why are these judges getting involved in it? This is the bigger story involved in this. And if in fact they do get shot down or overruled, which I believe they will, shouldn't the focus completely fall back on them as to why would you even do this? And what happens in the world when something happens? You adjust, right? So if these judges continue to overstep their authority, which is what they're doing, in order to create a inconvenience for the commander-in-chief who was voted on for the people, by the people, and if we voted for him to do his job and you are interfering in the man that we elected to do a job, then you are actively going against the best interest of the United States of America, and you should be held accountable for that. That's what should be happening right now. But the fact is what's ultimately going to happen is that they're going to be overruled and nothing will happen to them. And that's bullshit. Accountability, treat them like children, because they're acting like children. People with TDS are simply just children. They're spoiled fucking brats, and they need to be held accountable. They can't be allowed to get away with shit like this. It's bullshit. But yeah, so they're off on like the market and everything like that. But like, you know, based on the headline, O'Leary sounds off on court blocking Trump tariffs. It didn't sound like that to me. Piano Dean says Music 101, a robot making rhythmic beeps. That's music. But what's not music is a Chinese guy spilling Pepsi on himself. You see the difference? Piano Dean, you are far ahead of all of us, brother. You're living in a different world. Whatever you're smoking, give us some of it. Thank you, Piano Dean. Mike Hill says, will you be the first in line to buy the Sydney Sweeney bathwater soap? I will not. But I'm sure there will be a long line for it. Celebrity Jeremy says, hey, just stopping by since I haven't been here for a minute. I completely agree that Trump is focused on stopping World War III as well as handling low-hanging fruit so he can deal with it quickly. I agree, man. And it's good to see you, Celebrity Jeremy. It has been a while, man, so I'm glad you're doing good. Mark of Reality says this is bullshit. The courts don't have any power regarding foreign trade policy. SCOTUS and the rest of these robed nuts can take a flying leap. It's me with 5 gifted memberships. Let's freaking go. 5 gifted memberships in the house. Is Meeky still in the chat? Epic Meek still here? We can only hope. We can only hope. What is this right here? Ooh, look at there. ICE conducts a massive bust of illegals in Tallahassee. That's not far from me. This is how we achieve mass deportation. 3,000 ICE arrests per day. So this is in Tallahassee, Florida. Let's go. Wow. Not far from me. I'll just drive over there and start vlogging it. And be like, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the fuck out of the United States of America, bitches. That'd be pretty good if I said that too. Just streaming. Hail the 199. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the fuck out of here. What is this right here? What's Benny got going on here? All right, let's see here.
Fast forward to something that broke just a week ago. Joe Biden had terminal cancer through his entire presidency. At the White House, Joe Biden had terminal cancer and perhaps was being treated. Many speculating that this was all those calling a lid at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, zipping off to Delaware for 3-day weekends and 4-day weekends every weekend, 577 days on vacation. Many speculating that that could be Biden having cancer treatments or just maybe being so exhausted from this. You are leading the investigation into the Biden health crisis and cover up in the Senate. How are you gonna carve up this probably the greatest scandal in modern American history, Senator?
Well, you start with a serious investigation, and we'll start with, and we've issued letters to I think 28 individuals, people that you would expect had constant or frequent contact with President Biden, and you ask them some basic questions. I'm primarily concerned about, because we all saw his physical deterioration. Nobody takes joy in that. I mean, it's nothing good about getting old. But I'm most concerned about his mental deterioration. which was pretty obvious, I think, for a couple of years. I would say even during his initial campaign, which the press covered up for him, allowed him to win the presidency campaign from his basement.
I agree. Too many investigations, not enough arrests. Investigation fatigue, 1,000%. Super Vask 3D with 20 gifted memberships. Holy crap. Dan. I have a question for you, Dan. I'm asking you right now in text. Let me see what Dan says. Dan Vask, Super Vask 3D, which is his gaming channel, by the way. I'm trying to bully Dan into playing Battlefront 2 with us. I don't know why. So I will say this. Dan texted me last night, and he says, do you want to hear my new song with Ripa? And I said, abso-fucking-lutely. I'm not sure when they're releasing it. I think they're going to release it soon. This is a banger, bros. Holy crap. It's a banger. It is so freaking good. Oh, it's so good. Dan, you can tell him in the chat. I don't know when you're gonna release it, but it's fucking really good. It's really good. So, you guys are gonna love it. You guys are gonna freaking love it. It goes hard. It goes really hard. So, Dan, when is it gonna be released? In about 2 weeks, Dan says in the chat. So in about 2 weeks, it's gonna be released. Man, you guys are gonna love it. I cannot wait for you guys to hear it, though. It is really fucking good. So get hyped. Get hyped. Thank you, Dan. Giggles and Bits says the court reinstated the tariffs on appeal. During the appeal, they're reinstated. Okay. Dank Prometheus says you put the gay in gamer. Gamer.
But I'm primarily concerned about that mental incapacity. And what did the cabinet, what did the vice president do? What were their discussions? There's a reason we have a 25th Amendment. This is the most powerful elected official in the world, in the history of the world. He has access to the nuclear codes. The administration makes decisions that impact every American and, quite honestly, impact people globally. You can't afford to have somebody who is mentally incapacitated.
Yep, right here. So President Trump tariffs have officially been reinstated while the appeal runs its course. Big win for the country. Tariffs have already brought in $200 billion in additional revenue, and that number will continue going up. So again, this is the problem with it. The fact that it even gets interrupted by these rogue judges. Like, there should be some penalty for that. There should be penalty for that. If in fact the appeal if it gets overturned, there should be a damages. Like, you created damages. You stopped progress for this country. You stopped progress that the American people voted for. We voted for President Trump to do his job, and you got involved and slowed that process down. It's bullshit.
In that position. That's why we have a 25th Amendment, and it is the responsibility. These individuals take an oath to uphold the Constitution. That includes the 25th Amendment. And that means if they witness the president incapable of fulfilling the duties of the president, they need to discuss it amongst themselves. I'm not saying it'd be an easy decision, but they need to invoke the 25th Amendment to protect the Constitution, to protect this nation, to protect American citizens. And we need to determine, who knew what, when, who was really in charge of the auto pen, who was making these decisions. We've got to get to the bottom of it. But that'll be in itself a painstaking investigation. We need to bring these people in one at a time, individually, transcribed interviews, compare what they tell us to what other people tell us. This isn't going to be swift. This is no time for a swift show trial type of hearing. Bring people before us without having the documentation to back up the investigations and the interviews.
Are you going to bring in Joe Biden?
I can't say that right now. Right now, we're going to focus
Why wouldn't you bring in Joe Biden? Why wouldn't you? This is the nonsense that people are tired of. We're tired of talk, action. Bring that motherfucker in. He's at the center of all of it. He's the center of it all. You can't answer if you're going to bring Joe Biden in? Are you kidding me? Good Lord, man.
Focus on elected and appointed officials and find out what they know, and then we'll see where the investigation leads us.
Would you consider bringing in Jill Biden?
Yeah, listen, if I have to subpoena people, I'll subpoena them, and based on what we find out, we'll request additional interviews.
Dancing. He's dancing around it. So the two main people involved, that you claim you're going to open an investigation, yet you don't even want to commit to saying we would be bringing the two top people involved that's created this investigation.
And subpoena people that we think we need to talk to. Again, I intend to conduct a serious investigation because this is a serious matter. This isn't just some political witch hunt. This is a serious matter for future administrations. Again, the 25th Amendment was set up for a reason. It wasn't invoked. I think you can probably argue just on what.
Yeah, it sounds to me like you're just talking. It sounds to me like you're just talking. That's it. Tactical Dish Hope says, will we find out who was really in charge? Don't know. That probably not. Probably not. Jeremy the Cyborg says Scion, a descendant of a noble family. He was a scion of a wealthy family. There you go. See? There's a definition right there. Emo says, I love Jeremy's face palm emotes. Yeah, I had somebody message me yesterday and they were like, getting tired of seeing your face in thumbnails and you're not in the videos on Geeks and Gamers too. And I'm like, well, they're working though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to clickbait you guys to be, I'm not making the thumbnails, but I approve all the thumbnails. So essentially, here's how leadership works. If it's good, it's not your fault. The team's doing a great job. If it's bad, I approve everything. It's my fault. Blame me. This is how leadership works. So if anything at Geeks and Gamers upsets you, it's my fault. If anything at Geeks and Gamers is good, my team is great and they're doing a phenomenal job. That's how leadership works. Okay? So blame me for all the problems. Let's see. I blame Jeremy, says Astral Chain. But that is how leadership works. I mean, it's how it's supposed to work anyway. That's how good leadership works anyway. Let's see here. Okay. So we got now the internet's going crazy about the appeals court or the appeals process. So everything's being reinstated. And I think we're going to end it there because I do have another stream tonight for locals potentially. We're going to play Battlefront over there, and my voice is it's struggling. It's struggling right now. But I do appreciate you guys. It's been an awesome stream as always. So I don't know if I'll go live. If something big happens, I might go live late tonight for CobraCast if something big happens. But again, subscribe to Geeks Game or for D-Day Cobra Clips if you missed any of the segments. And follow us on Locals, Geeks and Gamers Locals. Looks like we're even playing Battlefront 2 tonight with our Locals members. I got to look and see how that message was received over there. I did post over there asking for everybody's feedback. So you guys let me know what you think over that over on Locals. And I do appreciate it. I hope you all have a good evening, a good day. Jessica always gets mad at me when I say good night because it's daytime. So, I mean, again, Jessica.
What more do you want from me?
I mean, come on, Jessica. Anyway, I do appreciate it. And who's number one on the leaderboard? Steel Leg of History is number one. Steel Leg of History is number one. So there you go. There's the updated community leaderboard. How did they figure that out? I have no idea. But that's where we are. So anyway, that's the latest numbers we have. But I appreciate it. You guys have a good evening, and we will talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.